Hello my friends, welcome to a new video. Yes, I pulled the plug because here is Ableton Move. I didn't want to do it, but I couldn't resist, so let's look at it. Now, I've seen that there is like a million videos in YouTube about the Ableton Move, so I don't want to make just one more. I want to compare it against the competition because I'm a big fan of groove boxes, as in self-contained musical machines that you can take anywhere, and you have synths, you have drums, you have sequencing, and I just like them a lot. The thing is that I have had like all of them, like the circuits, the Roland NC707, NC101 machine. I had so many of them, like standalone devices, but I always sell them because I just come up with ideas there and they kind of die up there. And actually, since I got Ableton Note, like the music app from Ableton, my musical output has increased so much just because it is synced to Ableton and everything actually ends up in Ableton, at least in my workflow. So when I saw Ableton Move, I thought, okay, this thing can be the definitive solution for me. Now, I do have the OP1 and I didn't sell that one because I just, this is like the exception for me because I hate it, but I also love it. And actually, I have been super close to sell it so many times, but I actually never did. So I wanted to compare the two of them together in terms of sequencing capabilities, synthesizer engines, and drums. So we have these two kind of similarly sized groove boxes. Both of them are battery powered. In fact, both of them are on battery right now. Ableton Move is 96% and the OP1 is a little bit over 50. Now the battery in the OP1, just to say, is unbeatable. Like, I've never seen anything like it. It is always full of battery, so that's pretty good. In the Ableton Move, you get like a solid battery life, but it's not that good. Maybe like 4 or 5 hours. In this thing, I don't even know the last time I charged it. Anyways, let's go for the sequencers, because that is a big thing for me. So in the OP1, you have like 7 sequencing engines. And I think the OP1 kind of takes the lead in terms of creativity. For example, let's go to Endless. Okay, let's shut it down. So the cool thing about this one is that if you press Shift and then you start inputting notes, like so, and then you can start, for example, editing the sound. So that's pretty cool. You also have Tombola, which is a very nice one. You just throw notes and then they bounce around just like a tombola. That is super cool as well for me. But the thing with these sequencers in the OP1 is that they are very nice and they can, like come up with things that otherwise you will not come. The bad thing is that the workflow is not as quick, and I think that is where the Ableton Move really shines. Imagine that I want to put down some notes in like drums in a sequencing in Ableton. Then I will just put them here, and it takes you literally like no time. Like, it's super fast, super quick, and in no time you're already rolling. It's pretty good. Now, like with the Ableton Move, like you treat it like a normal traditional sequencer. So like that really sucks, but you kind of get the idea. It's like a normal sequencer. You just have your buttons here, you have like the number of pages in the sequence here, and then you just input the notes like you will do in kind of any other sequencer out there. This one is more immediate, this one is more creative. Take it for what it's worth. That is my opinion, doesn't need to be yours, but that's what I think. All right, let's go with the synthesizer engines, because that is also a big one for me. The good thing in Ableton Move, I'm gonna start with this one, is that you get the synthesizers that you will have in Ableton. So you have drift, wavetable, and I'm not even sure what the other one is, but you can see that in the little logo next to it. And I think that's pretty convenient, because when you export the project from Move into the actual DAW in Ableton Live, then you get like a preset, you get it already there with all the MIDI information. So that is super convenient. And they sound pretty good. You can also change your scale here. So let's go for a chromatic keyboard and let's go for C. So that's good. You have like many different parameters that you can tweak at once. The thing is that, I mean, with time you kind of predict which one is doing what, but it is not very easy to know at first glance. So normally the first one is a filter cutoff, then the resonance, and so forth. You get used to it, but they are not labeled or anything. The same thing kind of goes for the OP one, where you have like a bunch of engines. I think you have here more engines than here. They sound pretty cool, but you have less parameter to edit, but you do know what they are doing in a way. Like in some of the engines, you see in the screen how it is labeled, what every parameter does in the same color as the knob that is doing that. So you also have like some shift functions, same goes for this one, by the way. But instead of in the shift, instead of being a different function, what you have is like a more precise knob movement. So I don't know if you can see, but if I press shift and then I start moving, it's a lot slower or more precise than if I don't press it, where it just goes crazy. The thing is that I think still it is a bit the same. In the OP1 you get more engines, they might be more creative. I personally love Dimension, which is this one. I also love that you can change the envelope super easily. You can't really do that here. And I also love another one that is called String. I think I can even recognize it if I hear it in a song. I also like the one that is called Voltage, especially for basses. I think it sounds super good. And it also sounds good in non-basses. You can also easily change if you want polysynth, monosynth, legato. All of these things are very convenient to use, but still you only get audio out of here. So when you export, you need to like a lot what you are exporting, because it's just audio. In this one, you have the possibility of further edit your sounds that you produce in Ableton. So that is also very convenient. Okay, so in terms of who's one's gonna win, I will say that in synths, this one has more sounds. They might be better or easier to edit and in terms of quality of sound, I think they are pretty much equal. All right, let's go now for the drums. You access them in the OP1, you access them here, and in Ableton Move, you just select which track, a track that is a drum kit. So I think in drums, straight out, this one is just better, just like that, because you have the pads, and in this one you have like keys. I just prefer the pads for it. Also, when it comes to sequencing, this one is just better. It's just much easier to sequence drums than in this one. Still, you still have the same sequencing engines here. I mean, you have maybe a little bit less sequencing engines for drums, but they are a lot more tedious or kind of random. For example, here you have finger, that you just have like pre-made sequences that you can edit. And here, like, you need to be more intentional, but for me, it's better to just have like a normal sequencer for drums. So I like better drums in Ableton Move. Also, in Ableton Move, I feel like you can edit more parameters for every sample. So you can have transpose, you also have it here. You also have that here. You can also edit the loop point, same here. You can also edit that. Here, attack. You also have the envelope here. But still, I feel like this one is a little bit faster for drums. For melodies, for synths and stuff, maybe this one is a little bit better, but for drums, I much prefer this one. Also, it's much easier to change if you have like a few drum loops. It's super easy to change between them because you can have them here, so you can have, like, let's say another drum loop here. Oh man, oh, sorry about that. And you can switch. Another thing that is so awesome about Ableton Move is that, just like in Ableton Note, is all the time capturing what you do. And I think that's so awesome because sometimes I'm just like messing around with stuff. So I'm like, and I'm like, okay, I like that. And it's just there. And also, for example, if let's say I'm in this sequencer, in this sequence, or in this clip, and I'm gonna transpose something. I'm gonna transpose this. And I'm like, oh, that was cool. It is all the time keeping track of what you do. And then if you like it, you can just put it. And I think that is super awesome, and there is nothing like it in the OP1. All right, so let's do a recap and let's say goodbye. I think this was enough. You have so much information about the Ableton Move online that I don't feel like doing a review. I'm just, sharing some preliminary feelings I have after trying so many groove boxes and also having the OP1. So in terms of immediacy, I think the Ableton Move is more immediate. If you have an idea in your head, it is easier to get it out in Ableton Move, I think. Now, in terms of creativity, I think OP1 is a little bit more creative because it gives you tools that are very special, like the Tombola sequencer, the endless sequencer. Those things, I feel like they are super awesome. And in terms of synths, I feel like both of them sound very good. You're not gonna go wrong with any of them. Keep in mind that for the price of Ableton Move, you can buy, for the price of OP1 Field, you can buy like 4 Ableton Moves. So this one is a lot more expensive, like maybe too expensive. Actually, it is too expensive. And that's it for this video. I hope you found it useful. Maybe you were, looking for more information about Ableton Move. So I hope this was useful to you, and see you in the next one. Bye.